The Fantasy Fbois pod. I'm Luke.
I'm Luke, and this episode is sponsored by Truly, specifically just the mango chili flavor.
I don't get an intro.
No, you don't. Fuck you. Just sit there. You just sit there. Just keep going.
No, yeah, this is brought to you specifically by the mango chili Truly flavor. Okay, so we are going to start with the top three scorers of the week, which number one goes to Keith Holm. Congratulations. Number two goes to one of our very own Luke Barton, and number three is Trevor Skogerbo.
It's tough when you can't play defense in fantasy football and you go out and score the second most and still lose. But and T. Skogs, everybody doubted him. I think we had him ranked at a consensus 9 last week.
Somewhere around there.
And he went out and scored almost a point less than me, a little more. And then there was Keith Holm, who kind of did the whole league dirty with his naked M&M picture.
Yeah.
What do we have next on the pod?
Call Jordy.
Oh, yeah, we have to call Jordy. I will give him a ring. All right. Hopefully this goes through. What's going on, brother?
Just got done scarping down some food.
How did it feel being the lowest scorer in fantasy?
Oh, God. Yeah, dude, that hurt. Literally, I'm going to be so fucked all year.
So, what's the plan moving forward? Are you just gunning for Bijan in the first round pick?
For who?
Bijan Robinson. He's probably going to be the number one overall pick in fantasy next year.
Well, I'm hoping not to score the least amount every week, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I got to just pick up my team, dude. That was like I should have did the practice fucking auction because I spent way too much money right away.
Yeah, it seems like a common denominator between the lowest people that we have. How's work going?
Good. How about you?
Just chilling. You like your new house?
Yeah, dude, the house is sick. It's like everything's fully like renovated for the most part. So.
All right. Well, we're doing the podcast right now, so I have a special guest to introduce you. You're gonna want to listen tomorrow. When you do get the news, you're going to enjoy it. I reached out to a close person in your life and a close person in a lot of people's lives to get some people to read off the scores. So I'd suggest listening tomorrow. I'll talk to you later.
Wait, what?
I would love to get a big shout out to Jordy because he started Nick Westbrook Econ.
Yeah, I think, hold on, before we get to that.
Don't even know who that is.
Yeah, that's the Tennessee's fourth stringer. Before we get to that, we have Jordy's very special guest reading off his score.
Kyler Luther here with the Week 1 summary. FYI, Newcott, 915, 114.62 points. That's going to take down team Jordan Becker with only 96.06 points. Could be a lot worse, Becker.
Just got a text from Jordy. He is under the influence right now, so that may or may not have probably caused some weird answers from him. Let's break down his team.
Jordy's team or both teams?
Well, both teams. We can break down the matchup.
Yeah, okay. So the final score ended up being 140.8 to 104.36.
Yeah, and it looks like Jordy trotted out there and still couldn't beat Al with the zeros out of Cam Akers or the 2.3 out of Robert Woods. And I think Jordy really one-upped him when he played Robert Woods' backup, who also scored 2.3 points. Looks like they each got a reception for 13 yards.
And I mean, the score could have been a lot worse, too, because Michael Pittman, who is very good, had a pretty big day of 27.1.
Yeah, I mean, Jordy's got some sleepers in there. Najee getting hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, he also started Nico Collins, which is something.
And Trey Lance playing in the rain. I don't know, Jordy. I think it's only up from here.
I think starting Nico Collins was about as ballsy as me starting the Tampa Bay running back last year.
Yeah, you had a crush on Giovanni Bernard.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, who did he play? Al? Al's team just kind of balled out this week, so that's pretty good for him.
Yeah, Devontae getting more than any Packers receiver.
He only had Tom get 12 points, though, so...
Yeah, I think Al's got some room to grow. If you look at their bench, Jordy benched Marcus Mariota, who scored more than both of his starters. And he's got what looks like a solid 6 points from Christian Watson on the bench that could have been a lot more.
That wouldn't have done anything anyway.
No, it wouldn't have. But you got to find hope for Jordy somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, should we move on to the next game?
Next game, yeah, who do you got?
The next game is Brooks versus Trevor. And our special guest, we reached out again to someone close in Brooks' life, and this is who we got.
Everybody, this is Paige Telexky of Hutchinson, Minnesota, coming at you from the University of St. Thomas campus. I'd like to warn everybody that I know absolutely nothing about fantasy football, but all I can say tonight is it appears that Football Guy took quite the beating, losing 99.5 points to 156.06 points to the one, the only, Skoger Boobies. Rough time for the Football Guy. Might need to change his name. He really wasn't the football guy this week. I guess that's what happens when you move to Indiana. Everything goes downhill from there. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.
And that was Miss Paige Telecki.
Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, thank you, Paige.
Thanks, Paige.
Coming in to break down the whomping that Skoger Boobies put on Football Guy.
Yeah. So, the game. Trevor's team just had a pretty good week. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Brooks marched out Dak Prescott, who got them all 5 points.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry with 8 and Austin Eckler with 11. I mean, those are your 3 big money guys that got you combined 25 points. And Skoger Boobies with his biggest purchase, getting him $40 or 40 points, and Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Cooper Kupp, another good week. He's pretty elite. He got a random 15 points out of DJ Chark.
Yeah, that was huge.
I suppose he'll be good until Jameson Williams comes back.
Who else was on there?
I mean, you can look at the bench. Brooks had
Danny
Dimes on the
yeah.
bench. And Michael Carter, which probably could have helped.
Yeah, Brooksy, maybe throw him in next time and Juice Landry. Probably don't throw him in, actually. Smart move, though, to bench Allen Robinson for week 1.
Yeah. Trevor's bench.
Yeah,
besides James Robinson, Trevor...
What about the empty spot? That's always solid, too.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
There's no one else out there that he really needs.
Well, he does have Braxton Berrios on his taxi squad, who got him 8.7 points.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk more about the taxi squad when we get to my team, and James Robinson on the bench. Trevor could have put a whomping on Brooks, but he went a little soft on him.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next game?
Mm-hmm.
The next game is... Let me pull up this. The next game is mine. And I scored the second most in the league and still ran into a train in Kent Holmes' son, Keith. Here's my special guest, if I can get it pulled up properly.
Hi, I'm Mikey, and Fantasy Fuckboy had 157 points, and Linyard Skinyard had 189.
That was Lil Mikey.
Thanks, Lil Mikey.
Cousin of Alyssa, who I reached out to as my special person in my life to read off my score. And if you broke it down, it really just came down to 2 high-powered teams going against each other, and DeAndre Swift and Saquon Barkley taking Gibson and Javonte Williams to the woodshed.
Yeah, I mean, Keith's team just had a good week. Number 1 scorer, his lowest score was his kicker with 9 points, so yeah, you're not going to lose a lot of weeks when you put up 190 points.
Yeah. Yep, and my befundles were the 1 point from the Packers.
And your Jahan Dotson taxi squad play?
Yeah, Jahan Dodson on the taxi squad hurts, but he's probably going to stay on there. And then also Trevor Lawrence with only 15. Probably should have played Goff and got that extra point. That might have done something for me.
Or Dylan on the bench.
Yeah, A.J. Dillon. He's been a player that I've been reached out to multiple times from different general managers trying to steal from me.
Keith.
Yeah, Keith. And then Keith also has Alan Lazard on his bench who was out, and maybe he'll work his way into the lineup, and Devin Duvernay, who scored 21 points. And Keith is going to use him as trade bait for the rest of the season because of that big week 1 matchup.
Yeah. Keith also tried to trade for a 27-year-old Mike Williams, called him old, and his package was Rashad Penny and Isaiah McKenzie for that. Just like to point that out.
Yeah.
The ultimate shitty trade offer guy, Keith Holm. I would like to shout him out for that.
Right now I've got Alan Lazard in a second for A.J. Dillon sitting out there as an active trade. Scroll down a little further, I've got Amon-Ra and Travis Etienne for Javonte Williams. Maybe not a horrible trade. I still rejected it.
But you still have to drop a player.
Yeah, I have to drop a player, and Javonte looked like a madman last night. So
yeah. I don't get the 2-for-1 trades. Just don't make sense.
You scroll down
unless you're
a little,
trading like Trevor or something, or Jordy, who don't have a deep bench.
Yeah, you scroll down a little further, and it's Rashard Penny and a 3rd-round pick for A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
I mean, Keith Holm is definitely a master manipulator. He's got that General Mills negotiating skills.
Well, but then he always talks shit about the people he's trying to trade for, which I don't get.
Yeah. Keith Holm, the master manipulator. I
There's-
think next we're going to move on to Budak's game.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the special guest I got for Mr. Noah Budak. He took his time out of a phone interview to stop and record this, so I hope you guys appreciate.
Slime here. Week 1. QBU takes it over. Choking Chudox. That's what you get for trusting that slimy bastard Rogers.
I don't know. I probably got cut off a little bit there, but that was Big Slime, our hero on Pikes Peak, who picked us up and only got his tires a little smoking on the way down until producer Grant instructed him to just throw her in first gear and glide down the hill.
Shout out producer Grant, by the way.
Yeah, producer Grant knew. And also Big Slime, shout out to him for Googling it and letting us know that when your tires are smoking, you just need to give it 5 minutes.
The Yoda treated us very well that trip.
Yeah. Let us pull up their score. This was the closest game of the week, I believe.
Yeah, and I think Budak knows what happened. Aaron Rodgers only had him 4.7 points, and he lost by like 4.7 points. So
Yeah, we were pretty close to having to find a personal family member of Stump to read off that score.
yeah,
Alvin Kamara was a big purchase, and he only got him 7.6 points.
he might be hurt though. Is he hurt? Yeah, he's got a rib issue, so that's probably got something to do with it.
Probably got in another fight.
Yeah, but he did have Jettas go for 40. So
Yeah, poor Jets. And then on the other side, Stumpy just had an all-around solid performance from everyone. Jamar got him 28.
Yep.
And his QBs, for being QBU, only scored him a combined 33 points, which wasn't anything crazy. He just has 3 other quarterbacks sitting on his bench. Carson
Wentz with 33 points. And that's...
Chubba Hubbard with 3.3 points.
Yeah, 0.3 points, yeah.
And if you look at the taxi squad, neither of them have anyone really to mention.
No. Yeah, what do you got for next game?
The next game was your game. And we have to... Oh, yeah. Hold on. We're having a little technical issues. Yeah, I got it sent to me, so I need to check this out. None of us here at the Fantasy Fbois pod have listened to this yet, so I'm going to just play this, and we're going to hope that it's gold.
It is Chum coming at you from Mom's Midnight Diner. I don't know much about fantasy football, but I do know it is funny to watch people lose bets. And speaking of losing, CD's Nuts took a hard loss to Barton and Amos jersey with 122.94 points and Barton and Amos jersey at 131.14 points. Better luck next time, CD's Nuts.
That is Chum, beautiful as ever. Thank you, Chum, for that one. Yeah. We
Cheer for Chum.
Yeah, we hadn't seen that video yet, and I think it was just a tough all-around weekend for Ben Barton. He went out and lost on Saturday in a game that he was probably supposed to win, favored by 17 points. Is never good to go out and choke that away. His Patriots lost, and he lost in fantasy.
Notable players, I mean, my quarterbacks both did pretty well. That probably carried me to a victory, to be honest.
Yeah, you had Cole Kmet putting up a goose egg.
And Mike Williams with 3 and Damian Pierce with 5, which wasn't spectacular, but...
Yeah, Ben had an all-around solid team. Jalen Hurts put up 24. I don't know how Mac Jones is a starting quarterback in any fantasy league. He had Clyde and
To
Miles.
be fair, he doesn't have another starting quarterback on his team.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty on the waivers right now
I
that
agree.
he can take. Miles Sanders and Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the bench, they kind of sucked. Or, I mean, they did really well. It kind of sucked that he had him on the bench. Brandon Cooks did well.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Chase Claypool on the taxi squad, kind of ballsy. He's only getting older.
Mm-hmm. My taxi squad, I didn't even realize Pacheco had 12 points, but I didn't manage my roster at all. I had 2 guys score 20 points, and then a couple guys score like 12 that I probably should have had in my lineup. But
And a couple things that we did not cover were the key injury reserves. I have Deshaun on mine, and you have Calvin Ridley on yours, and DeAndre Hopkins that are going to come back. And
hopefully, well, Hopkins will come back and hopefully do something. Ridley's out the whole year.
Mike Thomas on the bench was
And
tough.
Kareem Hunt, but a lot of his points are off touchdowns, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it looks like that was it. We got to thank all of our special guests last week.
Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
Shout out Jordy. Should we give someone a call before we move on quick?
Oh, let's do How About Them Bears.
All right.
This is our new segment called How About Them Bears, where Grant just talks about something for a little bit. So, Grant, take it away.
All right, so boys, how about them Bears? In big news this week, we had the Queen die, and if I'm being honest, I'm really not too beat up about it. You know, I think she lived a very fulfilling life. She was 96.
Yeah.
She committed very many atrocities, probably more felonies than myself. I think so.
Is she friends with Epstein?
There's someone over there that is,
Okay.
and it yeah. Good riddance to her. That's my take of the week. So yeah. That's How About Them Bears.
All right, I have a special guest that we're going to get on the line here. Even though other people on this podcast don't know who it is, but he usually brings some high energy, so we'll hope that he comes out firing. He's probably gaming right now, so we might not get a response.
This is Matthew Laney with Options.
Fuck!
Dang. I'm going to take your call right now.
You know, he's in
Let's do
school.
another
He's
one. Let's do
working
another one
hard.
at the end.
He's-
We'll do another one at the end. Week 2 predictions.
Yeah, let's go take a look at week 2.
Okay. Week 2. Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to.
Let's go with Keith and Ben.
I think what we should do is each of us give a prediction, and if we have a tiebreaker, we'd leave it up to producer
Okay.
Grant.
Let's start with Keith and Ben.
All right, let's take a look.
I mean, off the top, I'm just going to go Keith because he was the highest scorer of last week. So I'm going
Yeah.
to stick with that.
Yeah,
Um,
looking at it, I think that it's going to come down to whether Ben leaves Mac Jones in or not.
He doesn't have another quarterback.
I know. Ben, you got to spend some of your fab and pick up a good QB. I believe I will also take Keith Holm. He's favored by 10 points for next week.
Yeah, I'm going to go Keith just because he put up a lot of points last week and he's got a pretty solid team. Brooks Telecki, Noah Budak. Who do you got for this one? Both 0-1. Battle of the 0-1 fellas.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Football Guy. He's got that dog in him. Yeah, he went 0 for about $1 million on his bets last
Yeah,
week.
he did. I think he needs this one.
He's due. Brooks is due. Maybe take out Evan Ingram and put in anyone else. I can definitely offer you a trade of TJ Hawkinson. I know he's looking pretty juicy right now for someone that trots out Evan Ingram.
You know, if Brooks starts Julio Jones, I'll take him. But other than that, I'm going to go with Noah Budak here. Noah's going to get his first win of the year.
All right, Grant, who you got?
You know, I have always rode with the mantra of fade Brooks, so I'm gonna have to go with Noah Budak.
Yeah,
Let's go.
keep in mind, producer hasn't even seen any of the players on each team. So he's
no-
just
But the
going
mantra fade Brooks is a pretty good
Yeah,
one. Because
no,
like we said, he
look,
sucks
if
at
everyone
betting
would have
money.
faded Brooks last week, you would have made yourself a lot of money. So
Yeah. All right. And then we got Skoger Boobies versus QBU. Both 1-0 teams. Who do you got for this one?
I don't know. I might stick with the dogs, and Trevor is a true dog that is finally getting chained down.
Okay.
Congrats, Trevor.
Yeah. Okay, but the thing about it is they project Cooper Kupp for 22 points, but he I think he's closer to 30 every week than 22.
Well, Andy has Rodrigo in still, so
Trevor's not even he got cut.
Yeah, so Trevor will come up a little bit there, maybe another 7 or 8 points. You're not as heavy as a favorite as you think you are, QBU.
I think I'm gonna go Stumpf. Stump's got to win. Trevor's got to win, but I think Stump's gonna come for the win.
Who you got?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Skoger Boobies for this one. He just had a great week 1. I see it carrying over into week 2. So
I agree. I think
Trevor,
the third highest scorer in the league is getting put down right now.
Also, I think a quick side note: if your name is Skoger Boobies, you should have a Skoger Bo's boobies as your profile picture. Preferably Jill, but that's just me.
Walking the line right now.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, fourth game, we'll go you and Al.
Yeah, and this whole season, I'm going to try and choose the most Fboi picture I have of someone that I play. So you might want to take a moment and take a look at my picture this week. That is freshman year Al, looking about as much of an Fboi as you can find.
Grant, who do you got for this one? Al or Barton? Al's favorite. It's 51% in favor of Al.
Both multiple year roommates. We'll see who he's picking.
Ooh, this is a really tough one, but just after last year's scandal with the money and everything, I'd really like to see Al pull this one out this week. I mean, Barton took all of our money and just spent it, and his plan was to just win the league, which he did. But I just don't think he can be pulling stuff like that again. So I'm gonna have to take Al with this one.
Al is also
a 4-point favorite.
He's 1-0 too, so I'm just gonna keep going with the favorite and roll with Al on this one.
You know what? Then I'll pick Al as well. I did only score the second most in the league last week.
Yeah, but you're due for a regression to the mean on this one.
And ran into a bubble home sibling, and I don't know. I think that my team's going to come out firing, but ultimately I'll lose to Al again, and he'll probably score the most in the league this week.
Okay.
Also, just a quick note, I'd like to shout out to Al for joining the Wet Jeans Patreon Club.
Really?
Congratulations. Yes.
Congrats, Al.
Yeah. No, he's putting $4 a month towards the Jeaners, and we like that.
Wow.
So congratulations, Al.
Wait, can you send us the Friday ones they drop on Friday?
He said he was going to give us a review. So
if it's worth it or not?
Yeah. That can be our How About Them Bears next week.
Yeah.
Sneak peek next week. How About Them Bears,
maybe
Wet
if
Jeans.
we get a Patreon and we do, let's say, $4 a month, we could start subscribing to them.
Yeah.
Just take that money
Yeah.
and start subscribing to them.
Grant, you are the treasurer. You can just
Also-
take $4 a month out of the treasury.
Also, hey, here's a suggestion that I had. Maybe we take $50 out of the pot this year and buy a nice little trophy that us corporate cowboys and corporate cowgirls can set on our desks. Just a suggestion. I would love to hear feedback on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I actually don't mind that idea. And then the last game is me and Jordy. Do you want to give your prediction?
No,
first?
I think that everybody knows until it's kind of like a show me, don't tell me situation where we just need to see Jordy go out there and crack 100.
He got 104 last time.
Oh, yeah, he did. I forgot. I was looking at his score before he went out there, but he is only a 9-point dog, and maybe Trey Lance will come out and surprise us.
I think he will have better just because the weather was fucked up there last week, but I don't know. I'm gonna fade Jordy until I see it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think all three of us here at the Fantasy F Boys Pod are taking
Grant,
Sasso.
are you fading Jordy?
I'm also fading Jordy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's for the week 2. We did have one interesting trade between Keith Holm and Noah Budak.
What was that?
Keith received Kenny Pickett, and then Noah got Ryan Tannehill, a 2023 third-round pick, and $2 for free agency.
I'm starting to feel like this free agency, the fab, nobody's really spending money. So
Yeah, but it's more for injuries or someone who breaks out at the beginning of the year. And we drafted all the people that should be good. So
Yeah.
next year it'll be more of a thing. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that trade?
I think that it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's pretty irrelevant unless Kenny Pickett turns into a Hall of Famer. But
yeah, it's pretty nondescript trade. Do some cool trades. You want to talk about them a little bit? Yeah, and then we got another random call out of Luke Barton.
yeah, I'm kind of scrolling to try and find one. I think that we will go with.
Bedwood.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll call Ben. We'll ask him what Eleanor is and then just hang up.
Hello?
What's up?
Laying in bed?
Oh, sorry.
You?
My
Why,
bad.
what's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just want to know how you're doing. A little wellness check.
Oh, thanks.
How's Eleanor?
Great. She's sleeping.
Oh, sorry to wake her. Bye. And that was Ben Witt.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get a text here in a little bit, but I don't know.
Is that all we got for today?
I think that's all. How long was it, Grant?
We're at 26 minutes.
A little shorter.
Yeah.
We might have to come up with some more segments for next week.
You guys had a lot of speculation last week that you could spend time on. So
Yeah.
I mean, if we would have listened to our own podcast, we could have known who we picked last week.
Oh yeah.
So
we'll have to do that next week, and we'll look back.
Yeah, so we'll write that
Unless you
down.
want, can you edit it and we can like rewatch it or re-listen to it quick and see who we picked?
Yeah.